What's going on, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com. You know, it's been a busy day, kind of tired. Let me answer this. Hang on one second. Oh, okay, probably. No, I'm just kidding, guys. It's the Motorola Defy with T-Mobile. It's T-Mobile's newest one of their newest Android devices. It's water resistant, it's dust resistant, and it's a pretty cool mid-range phone. So have a look at the Gmail application. Now, you know, we've checked out a lot of devices that are running Android 2.2, Motorola devices, nonetheless. The Droid X, the Droid 2, several different devices. So you're used to, if you watch these videos, you're used to the new Gmail interface by now. But let's take a step back and have a look at the old Gmail interface, which is what this comes with since it's running Android 2.1. You'll see, you know, the header, very standard, not the typical header that we remember from, you can see there we go. And so once you scroll up, you know, the new one locks onto the top and scrolls with you. And there are a couple of different features up here, like the ability to reply, hit forward, and do all that from the top. Not the case in this one. It's all on the bottom. So reply to all, and forward, all down there. So, you know, it's one of those things, if you're not used to it, I guess you can't really miss it. But still, you know, coming from people that are coming from 2.2 and are jumping back to 2.1, which I don't imagine are too many people, but if you are, you might be frustrated with the lack of some of the email tools that you were used to in Android 2.2, like the buttons up top, and then the ability to see the header all the way to the bottom of the email. Otherwise, very similar. You do have the ability to add multiple Google accounts, and thanks to MOTOBLUR, it kind of organizes everything for you and allows you to do it all from one custom interface, or from one custom application, to make it even easier for you. So you can go into accounts and do it that way. Or you can go to the standard settings, click on accounts, and add a Google account from there. So, nice touch here. Let's have a look at the marketplace. You know, not a lot of change between Android 2.1 and 2.2, save for a couple of minor features, but you'll see very similar stuff here. No T-Mobile standard button on the right like you've seen on some of the past Android devices with T-Mobile. Apps, games, and downloads. So, featured programs, not a lot that's different there. You can click on this to see your current downloads, and stuff you have on the device. A lot of cool stuff. And then you can, of course, your standard apps to which you can scroll through by all applications, or you can do it by section. So very similar there, you know, save for separating, for example, look at Meteor Blitz. Save for separating the comments into a different tab and allowing auto updates, which is definitely a cool feature, but, you know, in the scheme of things, it's not incredibly huge. Those are the big differences between the Android market and Android 2.1 and 2.2. So I want to highlight a program T-Mobile's offering on the HD7, the MyTouch 4G, and the Motorola Defy. It's called T-Mobile Family Room, and just like it sounds, it's a virtual family room. So if y'all have the same devices, be it on Android or be it a Windows Phone 7 device, you can go into Family Room and access family calendar, family updates, quick contacts, email blasts, things like that. So there's no more of that calling and saying, Susie Q needs to come home, or Johnny Boy needs milk, or we need eggs, or anything like that. You can do it all from the family room. Now, my understanding is right now it's very platform dependent. In other words, if you have a Windows Phone 7 device, everybody in the family has to have Windows Phone 7 devices. Or if you have an Android device, everybody has to have Android devices in the family. That's my understanding. That's the warning that pops up on most of these devices when I go into family room. But at any rate, pretty cool program, pretty unique, and a nice touch. It works very closely with Google to create calendars. And then, of course, you can add widgets from the home screen. So we can go here, we can click on Family Room Widgets, and we can see some widget choices. Family Calendar, Family Room Setup, Family Updates, Quick Contacts, so I can add family updates, for example. And the widget pops up. I can customize it, like I said before. Click on that, and there I have it. So whenever family updates cross the wire, they're there, they're on my home screen, on one of my home screens at least, and I could take a look at it and see what the family is up to. So nice touch, may cut down on the minutes, may cut down on the text messaging, and overall should be a productive way to keep in touch. By calling, cool touch, it's on the G2 and the MyTouch 4G as of now, and very similar to T-Mobile's old Hotspot at Home program. In other words, you can jump on Wi-Fi. Now you have to be an active T-Mobile customer. You can't just jump on without a SIM card and say, I can get on the internet, or I can get on the, I can make phone calls now, you know, woo, free phone. No, you have to be a T-Mobile customer, and have to have a SIM card in your device to be able to take advantage of the Wi-Fi calling. But still, a very cool feature on that front. So overall, I've been very pleased with this device. Like the water resistant feature, like the dust resistant feature. Camera's been decent. Let's take a look at the camera. For a 5 megapixel shooter, it's not bad at all. Let's see here. We'll take a picture of the Bold 9780 because we just unboxed that. So we'll see here. Let it focus in. And that's what it looks like. So not the best picture in the world. It's not going to replace your normal 12 megapixel shooter, anything like that. But decent camera quality. Let's get close on the keyboard. And so in my opinion, decent photo quality for a mid-range handset. You can go back here and see. Let's go back to the gallery. For a mid-range device, decent picture. Again, 5 megapixels with a flash. And while it may not replace your current camera, it's still decent to have on the device. So, cool touch there. Let's have a look at some of the features, the camera features as well. You can see scenes, effects, flash, and switch to. If you're wondering, hey, that menu looks really familiar, of course it does. It's the same menu, or very similar to the one that's on the Droid X. So we can have a look at the scenes, go through those: portrait, landscape, sport, depending on what type of picture you're taking. Effects, of course, black and white, negative, all of the solar eyes, red tint, several different ones there. It's like a red tint picture of the 9780 now. And flash, and then you can switch to the video camera should you want to shoot a video. Been very pleased on that front. Call quality's been good. Motorola's always historically been very good with that. The earpiece sounds loud. Tested the speakerphone in one of my favorite coffee shops for a few seconds, and it was loud, and I was pretty pleased with it. So a nice touch there. But review wouldn't be complete without a quadrant standard test and a speed test. So speed test. That sounds funny. Run full benchmark. We'll do that, and we'll let her run just to get an idea of what the speed test numbers look like. So as I said before, it's not an HSPA Plus device, so don't expect the internet speeds in a few minutes to be exceptionally amazing, but certainly gives you a good idea of what to expect should you purchase the device. Okay, let's take a look at the benchmark result. Drum roll. And it's 979, so it comes in slightly higher than the Nexus 1, the Desire, all of which were scored running Android 2.1. Samsung Galaxy S comes in at 979, so it's a far cry from the Nexus 1 running Froyo, Motorola Droid X running 2.2, Evo running 2.2, or the Droid X, period. So either running 2.1 or 2.2. So if you remember, I think I scored a 1900 plus with the MyTouch 4G and a 1600-ish with the G2. So that gives you a rough comparison of the speed differences between this device and the high-end Android offerings on T-Mobile, like the G2 and the MyTouch 4G. If it's something that interests you, check it out in store. In daily tasks, you're not going to notice a difference. This device is very snappy. I've had no problems with lag, with the exception of that pinch to zoom in the browser. But, overall, very responsive, very quick. I mean, this is the only device, mid-range Android device in recent memory that I can pull out of a cup of water, dry it off, and use it just like normal. So definitely some points there. Let's take a look at speed test and get that queued up. And get the servers changed here once the GPS fix locks on. So we'll take a look at speed test. Again, these are all rough numbers. Just because it's 979 doesn't mean it's exactly 979 or whatever the final score was. Take a look at it in store. Put it through your paces. See what you think in day-to-day use before you make a buying decision. But let's begin test. I feel like I should have some background music while we're doing this. That's not background music. That's just annoying. Looks like we're going to come in about the 1,233 kilobits per second on the upload. About 1,200. Yeah, about 1,100. 1,162 kilobits per second. So, not terrible for a standard 3G device. And again, given where it's at, $99.99, certainly decent there. So not a bad touch. Much more coverage to come on PhoneDog.com with the Motorola Defy. We'll have dogfights most likely, and a lot more coverage on the device. So be sure to check it out on PhoneDog.com. In the meantime, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/PhoneDog. We're giving away a ton of iPads. You could win. You could also win a trip to the Super Bowl in 2011, which is super cool. Head over to Facebook.com/PhoneDog, like us, and be sure to enter the sweepstakes. Excuse me. Be sure to like me follow me on Twitter, PhoneDog_Aaron, as well. Ask me any questions you have about any of these devices that I have I'll do my best to answer those, or just stop in to say hello. I'm a nice guy. You say hello, I'll say hello if I see the tweet. So be sure to head over, follow me on Twitter, phonedog_Aaron. Thanks for watching. Much more coverage to come on the Defy on phonedog.com. Have a great day. Drum roll.